The surprising truth about ethics professors' behavior. Explicit moral cognition is the conscious deliberation and reasoning about ethical principles and decisions. It's expected to guide moral behavior by providing a framework for evaluating actions. However, the connection between knowing what is right and actually doing it isn't always straightforward. This complexity underlies much of moral psychology. Ethics professors are often seen as paragons of virtue, given their deep engagement with moral philosophy. Yet, there's a growing curiosity about whether their academic expertise translates into exemplary moral conduct. The assumption that knowledge inherently leads to ethical behavior is being questioned, sparking debates and further scrutiny. The question of whether ethics professors behave more ethically than others remains intriguing. Despite their expertise, evidence suggests that ethical knowledge doesn't always equate to moral action. This discrepancy invites investigation into whether their behavior aligns with the ethical standards they teach, or if they are as fallible as anyone else. There is a notable lack of empirical research examining the behaviors of ethicists. While theoretical discussions abound, the actual conduct of those who study ethics is rarely scrutinized. This gap in research leaves unanswered questions about whether their academic focus on morality impacts their personal and professional lives. One interesting area of study is the correlation between missing ethics books and moral behavior. The idea is that the disappearance of such books from libraries might reflect broader ethical tendencies among those who study them. It offers a tangible measure to explore whether ethicists practice what they preach. The methodology of the study involves comparing the borrowing rates of ethics books to those of other philosophy books in academic libraries. This approach aims to identify any discrepancies in borrowing patterns that might suggest differences in moral behavior among those who study or teach ethics. By focusing on borrowing patterns, the study seeks to uncover whether ethics professors, who presumably advocate for ethical behavior, actually engage with ethical literature more frequently than their peers. Analyzing these patterns can offer insights into whether they practice what they preach regarding moral engagement. Data collection involves examining the rates at which ethics books go missing compared to other philosophy books. This metric serves as a proxy for understanding the level of interest and engagement with ethical topics among scholars, potentially reflecting on their ethical behavior. In defining ethics books, the study considers works specifically focused on moral philosophy, ethical theories, and ethical dilemmas. These books are distinguished by their subject matter, which directly addresses questions of right and wrong, aiming to capture a clear picture of interest in ethical discourse. To conduct a comparative analysis, the study evaluates several metrics, including borrowing frequency and missing rates, to gauge the level of engagement with ethics books versus other philosophical works. These metrics help determine whether there's a notable difference in how ethics literature is treated by academics. Initial findings reveal a surprising trend: ethics books are missing from libraries at a higher rate than other philosophy books. This discrepancy raises questions about the borrowing habits of those studying ethics and whether it reflects a broader pattern of moral behavior among ethics professors and students. Missing books could suggest a disconnect between moral cognition and behavior. The act of not returning borrowed books might indicate a lapse in ethical judgment, challenging the assumption that ethicists inherently practice what they preach. This gap prompts a re-evaluation of how moral education influences real-world actions. The study's findings suggest significant ethical implications. If those who teach and study ethics are prone to ethical lapses, it raises concerns about the effectiveness of moral education. The results underscore the need to integrate practical moral behavior more deeply into ethics curricula to bridge the cognition-behavior gap. However, alternative explanations for the missing books must be considered. Factors such as forgetfulness, administrative errors, or higher demand for ethics books could contribute to the discrepancy. Acknowledging these possibilities ensures a balanced interpretation, avoiding unwarranted conclusions about the moral integrity of ethicists. Recognizing study limitations is crucial. Potential biases, such as the selection of libraries or the categorization of ethics books, might affect outcomes. Constraints in data collection also highlight the need for cautious analysis, emphasizing the importance of more comprehensive research to validate these preliminary findings. Further research is essential to gain a deeper understanding of ethicists' behavior. By expanding the scope of studies, we can explore diverse contexts and variables that might influence ethical conduct. This could include longitudinal studies or cross-cultural comparisons to assess whether findings hold true across different environments and populations. The practical implications of this research extend to ethics education, where insights could inform curriculum development. By understanding potential discrepancies between moral cognition and behavior, educators can design programs that emphasize practical ethical decision-making, ensuring that students not only understand ethical theories but also apply them in real-world situations. Summarizing the study's key takeaways, we see that while explicit moral cognition is expected to influence behavior, the reality may be more complex. The findings suggest that possessing ethical knowledge doesn't always equate to ethical actions, highlighting the need for further exploration into factors that bridge this gap. Academic libraries are encouraged to monitor book borrowing patterns to identify trends that might indicate wider behavioral issues. By doing so, they can contribute valuable data to ongoing research, helping to shed light on how academic resources are used and the ethical implications of borrowing behaviors. We invite viewers to consider whether book borrowing habits truly reflect an individual's moral behavior. This question challenges us to think critically about the connection between ethical knowledge and actions, sparking conversation and potentially leading to a deeper understanding of morality in both academic and everyday contexts. To broaden the scope of this research, expanding beyond academic libraries to include public libraries could provide a more comprehensive view of book borrowing behaviors. Incorporating digital resources and ebooks would help capture modern reading habits, offering a fuller picture of how ethical attitudes manifest across different platforms. Encouraging ethical reflection among viewers can foster a deeper personal connection to the study's findings. By considering their own decisions and behaviors, viewers may uncover insights into how moral cognition influences daily life. This self-examination can lead to more conscientious living and a greater understanding of ethical principles. Inviting the community to discuss perceived ethics in academia can spark meaningful conversations. By sharing opinions and experiences, individuals can collectively explore the complexities of moral behavior among educators. This dialogue can also highlight discrepancies between public expectations and the realities faced by ethics professors in their professional and personal lives. Proposing real-life case studies of ethical behavior in academia can illustrate the application of moral theories. These examples can provide practical insights into how ethical dilemmas are navigated in educational settings, offering valuable lessons and highlighting the diverse challenges ethicists encounter in upholding their moral standards. Conducting a viewer poll on expectations of ethicists' behavior can reveal public sentiment and assumptions. This feedback can inform future research and discussions, helping to align academic studies with societal perceptions. Understanding these expectations can also guide ethics education and foster greater transparency within the academic community. Ethics professors often encounter unique moral dilemmas that challenge their theoretical understanding against real-world complexities. Anecdotes highlight moments where personal biases clash with moral teachings, providing a glimpse into the human side of academia. These stories reveal that even experts can struggle with applying ethical principles in practical situations, prompting self-reflection. Public perception of ethics professors has evolved, often seeing them as moral beacons. However, this view can be overly simplistic, ignoring the nuanced realities of their roles. While they are expected to model ethical behavior, they also grapple with the same moral challenges as everyone else, balancing theory with practice. Simplifying the study's data findings involves distilling complex statistical analyses into digestible insights. By highlighting key trends, such as the comparative rates of missing ethics books, audiences can better understand the implications without being bogged down by technical jargon. This clarity helps in fostering informed discussions and reflections. Established ethical standards in academia serve as a guiding framework for behavior and decision-making. These standards emphasize integrity, transparency, and accountability, aiming to foster an environment of trust and respect. However, the application of these principles can vary, highlighting the importance of continuous dialogue and reflection within academic communities. Challenging viewers to apply moral reasoning in daily life encourages a practical exploration of ethical theories. By engaging with real-world scenarios, individuals can better understand the complexities and nuances of ethical decision-making. This exercise not only enhances personal growth, but also fosters a more ethically aware community. Ethical standards in academia are vital for fostering an environment of integrity and trust. These standards guide interactions among scholars, ensuring honesty in research and teaching. Upholding these principles is crucial for maintaining credibility, as violations can undermine the academic community's integrity and the public's trust in scholarly work. Encouraging viewers to apply moral reasoning in daily life bridges the gap between theoretical understanding and practical application. This challenge promotes critical thinking and ethical decision-making, urging individuals to evaluate their actions and consider broader implications, thereby fostering a society grounded in mindful and ethical behavior. Philosophical debate on the necessity of moral cognition invites diverse perspectives, enriching our understanding of ethics. Such discussions question whether explicit moral reasoning is essential for ethical behavior or if innate moral intuitions suffice, fueling ongoing exploration of how humans comprehend and enact moral principles in varied contexts. Visual aids, such as graphs, effectively illustrate data on missing books, offering a clear, engaging way to present findings. They enable viewers to grasp complex information quickly, highlighting trends and patterns that might otherwise remain obscured, thereby enhancing understanding and facilitating informed discussions on the study's implications. The study examines key moral theories, such as consequentialism and deontology, to understand their impact on behavior. By testing these theories, researchers seek to determine whether moral philosophy influences actions, providing insights into how deeply held beliefs shape ethical decisions and potentially guiding future educational approaches in ethics. Reflecting on the study's implications, it becomes clear that the behavior of ethics professors can challenge our assumptions about moral exemplarity. This prompts a personal introspection on the complexities of ethical behavior and the factors that influence it, urging scholars to examine their own moral practices critically. The ethics of book borrowing and returning may seem trivial, yet it reflects a broader spectrum of academic integrity. Respecting this practice underscores a commitment to communal resources and trust within academic environments, highlighting how small actions can cumulatively impact the perception of ethics in scholarly settings. Predicting the future of ethics in academia involves envisioning a landscape where moral cognition is increasingly scrutinized. As empirical studies grow, they might reshape educational approaches, promoting a deeper integration of ethical behavior alongside theoretical understanding, thereby fostering a more conscientious academic community dedicated to integrity. As we conclude, continuous ethical reflection remains crucial. It is essential for individuals, particularly in academia, to engage regularly in self-assessment and dialogue about moral responsibilities. This ongoing process ensures that ethical behavior remains a dynamic and integral part of both personal and professional life. In closing, the importance of steadfast ethical reflection cannot be overstated. By nurturing a culture of moral awareness, academia can uphold its responsibility to model integrity and inspire broader societal change, ultimately reinforcing the significance of ethics as a foundational pillar in all realms of study and practice.